Enter beginning general ledger balances. The vast majority of postings to the general ledger and MaxxTraxx are done automatically when you pay an RO, restock parts, pay bills, make bank deposits, and write checks. However, your assets and liabilities, as well as your year-to-date numbers before using MaxxTraxx for accounting, need to be entered as well to have a complete financial picture. There are two ways to do this. Either use the Enter Beginning General Ledger Balances feature or enter a single giant general journal entry. The method used really depends on three things: the documents that you are using for reference, how complete those documents are, and how comfortable you are with doing a general journal entry. Most users choose the Enter Beginning General Ledger Balances feature. Let's take a look. From the menu bar, click on Setups, select Accounting and Payroll, and choose Enter Beginning General Ledger Balances. This will open the Beginning Balance Date window. This date should be the previous day before you started using the full accounting in MaxxTraxx. I always advise our customers to start using the accounting on the first day of the month to coincide with your bank statements, vendor statements, that kind of thing. So for example, I would select July 31st for this beginning balance entry, as I will say we're using the full accounting as of August 1st. Click OK, and Next, and here is the chart of accounts. MaxxTraxx comes with a preloaded chart of accounts that can be edited as needed. I recommend using the account numbers that are already here, as there are several accounts used for default posting that goes on in the background, and changing the account numbers can mess up that default posting if you're not sure what you're doing. Let's say, for example, sales tax. I'll page down. Sales tax is account number 23600, used by default in MaxxTraxx whenever an invoice is paid, so I recommend taking your sales tax account balance from your financials and entering that balance as of July 31st in this account, rather than creating a new account to match your current financials. Now, there are a few account beginning balances that are not entered using this feature, and those include bank accounts, accounts receivable, and accounts payable. You will also notice these accounts are missing from this list. See? No bank accounts, and the bank accounts start with 11,000, and they're not showing here. The reason we do not enter bank accounts, ARs, and AP balances here is that MaxxTraxx keeps track of the details of those account balances in their respective areas. Bank accounts for bank balances, customer records for ARs, and vendor records for APs. So those balances are entered from those detailed areas. Please see the training videos for setting up beginning bank balances, ARs, and APs for more information. So next, we highlight the account and click the Enter Beginning Balance button, or just double-click on the account, and this opens the Beginning Balance window. And notice the current balance as of our go live date. This is typically 0, unless you have been using MaxxTraxx currently without the accounting. The dollar amount we enter here as the new beginning balance should be the dollar amount on your current financials as of this go live date. Even if there was an amount up here, a current balance, MaxxTraxx would make the necessary adjustment to get to the correct new beginning balance amount that you manually enter here. And since everything in MaxxTraxx accounting is double entry, the other side of the transaction is posted to the 19900 System Balance Initial Setup account. Click OK and then select the next account. Double click and notice the date stays the same, and we enter the new beginning balance for this account. Now, the one account that we typically do not take from our current financials is this account, the 13,000 account for inventory parts. We recommend running the inventory valuation report Once all of your parts are entered into MaxxTraxx, before any parts are put on open repair orders, and take the amount from that report and enter it here in the 13,000 account beginning balance. This report is counting the actual number of parts on your parts list times the average cost of that part, and then this report comes up with the total valuation of all your parts on hand entered on the MaxxTraxx parts list. If this amount seems to be too high or too low from this report, go ahead and enter the amount anyway as your beginning balance. And then, after a physical inventory, an inventory adjustment will be made here to this account. Where I find a lot of shops struggle is they don't have a current, accurate, and reliable trial balance. Maybe they just give their checkbook and their repair orders to their bookkeeper and have them handle all of the accounting. Or they have a trial balance from a previous software program, but there are a lot of inaccurate account totals listed. Not to worry, for most shops, this is a work in progress. Just enter the account balances that you know are correct, and then audit the rest of the accounts. A lot of shops enlist the help of their CPA for this kind of work, so verify your list of assets is correct, including taking a physical inventory of your parts, and then post those inventory adjustments, which will correct this amount in the 13,000 account, for example. Same for liabilities or your payables. Things like accrued taxes or loans or company credit cards. Figure out what the outstanding balances really are as of your go-live date for these accounts and enter those amounts using this Enter Beginning General Ledger Balances feature. For those shops that have impeccable trial balances, a shortcut to entering each account here in this feature is to simply enter a giant general journal entry. Just click on Accounting on the menu bar, select Create General Journal Entry, date the entry the day before your go-live date, and I would enter beginning balances for the description, and then start adding your transactions. Click the Add button down here and select your first account. Let's say the 11,000 undeposited funds account. Now in most cases, you're increasing the amount. Note these radio buttons here, and then click OK. Just keep adding account after account to match your trial balance, and whatever amount is left over once you complete your entire list gets posted to the 19,900 system balance initial setup account. And remember, bank accounts, accounts like 11,010, 11,020, accounts receivable, which is account 12,000, see it's not listed here, and payables trade, 20,000, are entered through their respective areas, banking, customer records, and vendor records. This is why you'll have that amount left over in the 19,900 system balancing account to balance out those other three groups of entries. Now, most shops do have a little bit left over in this 19,900 account. We recommend you do as much as you can to set up your trial balance first, and then take a printout of this trial balance to your CPA for fine-tuning. If you are in the middle of doing this giant general journal entry and you need to take a break, just post the balance left over to the 19,900 account and click Post and Close down here to save your work and come back later. To return to this general journal entry, just go back to Accounting on the menu bar, select Chart of Accounts, double click on that 19,900 account, and you will see your beginning balances journal entry listed. Just double click to open it up, delete that last 19,900 entry, and then continue adding more account balances until you're done. And remember, your final entry will be to the 19,900 account to be in balance, and then post and close again. And this concludes the lesson on Enter Beginning General Ledger Balances.